In a world where musicians battle in an endless bid for relevance, one band will rise up in a very mild fashion to captivate at least a few thousand people. They appeared like a wraith in the night to enchant our ears with a sound unlike any other, only to vanish when we needed them most. This band goes by many names. Well, actually just the one. And that name is F.U.S.B.I. Who are they? Where are they now? Why do I crave a Diet Pepsi so much when I'm listening to them? Today we will attempt to peel back the veil of mystery on this enigmatic group of individuals and expose you to the power that unbridled talent has on the human mind. Mainly through speculation and watching their music video, which pretty much fails at everything it tries to do so spectacularly it will haunt your dreams for the rest of your miserable life.
Now, if you haven't heard of this band before, I wouldn't be surprised. I came across them a few years ago while binge-watching bad music videos with some friends, and my god, did their music video change our lives for the better. To this day, we still quote the lyrics on a weekly basis. The video seems to have gone pretty much under the radar to the broader internet at large, making a small dent before being forgotten pretty soon after. Today I want to give a revival, refreshing it in the minds of those who've seen it before, and introducing it to newcomers who haven't yet witnessed it in its full glory. This video is called F.U.S.B.I's Magnum Opus, Blow Me Away. Let's first take a look at the band of misfits that makes the magic happen. On guitar, we appear to have John Goodman very deep in a method acting stint in preparation for his role as a guitar-playing Frankenstein in a leather jacket. He is known as the strong, silent member of the group who likes to write poetry and chase co-eds around parks in his free time. Don't be mistaken, he isn't the only famous celebrity in the band, however. Also on guitar, we have the resurrected corpse of John Belushi. I don't want to spoil too much here, but don't get too attached to him having a shirt on. He's the wild card of the group, causing a ruckus at local bars while on tour, thrashing motel rooms, and eating just a few too many Heath bars for a normal, sane person to enjoy. Like, why Heath bars? People don't even eat those things on their own most of the time. It's like a non-candy. Truly, he is a rock and roll devil incarnate. On the keyboard, we have the new recruit, a young Asian man who was most likely kidnapped off the street in broad daylight by the F.U.S.B.I mobile before being forced into the basement recording studio to learn the basics of keyboarding, at the threat of never seeing his loved ones again. He knows how to rock a mean keyboard test button. His eyes scream a plea for help, a smile on his face probably being forced by a gun off screen. He's known as Angel Fingers, and is considered the looks of the group. Then there's our iconic frontman, the dad bod demigod himself. If Freddie Mercury is the voice of Britain, then Frank David F.U.S.B.I is the voice of Davenport, Iowa. Rocking his baggy Gap jeans and an American flag bandana to keep all his love of freedom kept firmly inside his head, he has been called the songbird of our generation. With that iconic whispery voice, very similar to the sounds I made when my childhood bully Billy Kreckelberg would knock the wind out of me with a well-placed football to my stomach. Frank is also known to offer anyone with legs free mustache rides. Now that you are familiar with all the unique and colorful members of the band, let's take a deep look into the video that launched their career into the stratosphere. We open on a very well-shot image of your average American man, blue jeans, crisp white t-shirt, and a phone clip on his belt that comes standard with every mid-2000s middle-aged working dad loadout. Our hero is enjoying the finer pleasures of middle-class America, lounging, reading the local paper, enjoying a crisp, refreshing Diet Pepsi. Diet Pepsi. There really is no other cola like it.
All the flavor of regular Pepsi with no calories or sugar in it. It really is America's drink, that Diet Pepsi. I could drink it all day and never once get tired of it.
A woman catches the eye of our lead as she walks by. He responds by giving her a look that says, "You look like my next half in a fine Applebee's 2 for $20 dinner." The woman fumbles through her purse wildly, like a mad badger throwing a $20 bill straight to the ground like a used tissue blocking her cell phone. See, you all laughed at the phone clip, but I guarantee he hasn't lost any Jacksons while fumbling like a maniac through a pile of loose dollar bills. Our middle America daddy sees this as a sign from the gods that a 2 for $20 is indeed written in the stars, as the final piece to the puzzle lies right before his eyes. He chases after her as a sick preset drum beat from an electronic keyboard hits you like a bratty unwatched toddler at a music shop. And there they are, in all their glory. Bask in the powerful presence If you need to pause the video and take a cold shower after being exposed to such raw sexual energy, I wouldn't blame you. I've run up my water bill a few $100s just during the recording of this. Let's admire this camera work for a second. Look how we see each of these titans of industry elegantly shredding on their instruments like demigods of 80s pop rock. Fingers slapping at the ivories like wooden claw hands. Guitar work like you're watching your little nephew's music recital with his second-hand Fender and a beat-up box amp. Drink it all in, baby. Drink it like you would a delicious, cold Diet Pepsi straight from your fridge.
Nothing quenches my thirst like a Diet Pepsi on a warm Thursday afternoon.
It's also here we see the lead singer compliment the lyrics. By docking his fingers repeatedly in his fist, then winking and licking his lips. I imagine this is the same feeling most girls get when they see some middle-aged man has commented on their profile picture something like,
"You look sexy, baby. I'd give you so much kisses on your body."
You'll also see a common theme where the camera will zoom in uncomfortably close on each of the band members, especially the lead singer. He usually has a nice wide profile shot for you to admire, soft mood lighting accentuating his bristling mustache. I would assume he adamantly told the filming crew this was his good side before chuckling to himself for an uncomfortably long time. Now for the chorus, the crown jewel of this treasure trove of a song. Frank F.U.S.B.I shows us his vocal range by giving us an even higher version of his signature "I need air" voice. It sounds like at any moment he could just collapse, panting for air. But that rugged son of a bitch just keeps belting those lyrics with as much gusto as he can muster. Can we also appreciate how happy the keyboardist looks? He may be being held against his will, but this smiling boy looks like he's having the time of his life. You can learn a lesson from this guy. Make the best out of the situation you're in and do what needs to be done like your life depends on it. In his case, that probably is true. The sultry maiden awkwardly flashes on the screen from an ethereal plane to remind us who this love ballad is directed at, and we continue as the camera pans to see the masters at work, fumbling with their tools of trade with enough passion to bring a tear to your eye. And my god, if this part isn't just the biggest encapsulation of the whole video. Look at this epic leap from the rhythm guitarist, stunting in the air with at least a 3.5-inch vertical. Then hard cutting to the keyboardist smiling like a kid presenting his parents a handmade macaroni necklace he spent all day working on. I couldn't recreate this as perfectly as it's done here. This is camera work to make Stanley Kubrick green with envy. And finally, after another lovely chorus, we see for a brief second that John Belushi has ditched his shirt in the throes of passionate music making. We continue moving the plot along with a cutscene of the lead singer. He has cornered his prey into the elevator. He tries to offer her a chance at a succulent 2 for $20 dinner, followed by an awkward old person makeout session in the back of his 2004 Ford Explorer. The camera shot kinda looks very reminiscent of an unwanted crop Snapchat dick pic. She declines in a most brutal fashion, letting him keep the bill so he can have a 2 for $20 for $1. He won't be humiliated like that, though. He spams the elevator button to try and give that fat-shaming hussy a piece of his mind, accentuated by the most iconic vocalization in the whole song. I, to this day, have no idea what he's saying here. My best guess is a very tongue-centric, "oh yeah." But the way he sings it, it just comes off as some mumble-mouthed, confused jarble of emotion that still manages to touch my ears in all the right ways. This one sound clip is worth the price of admission. No other thing in this world brings me more joy than this single soundbite. And to put the cherry on this perfection pie, it is immediately followed by the lead singer's voice crackling like a prepubescent teenager. And that is what is so great about F.U.S.B.'s Come On Back. This video doesn't let up until the very end. We finally see the rhythm guitarist's hairy, naked torso, something for the ladies to enjoy. I don't want to smell that room right now, frankly. Our story arc wraps up with our protagonist sucking down the sweet, heart-healing goodness that the bubbly touch of Diet Pepsi can bring.
Oh yeah, Diet Pepsi. So delicious. Did you know world-famous band F.U.S.B.I drinks Diet Pepsi? You too should drink Diet Pepsi. Drink Diet Pepsi. Go and buy it now. Do it! Buy as much Diet Pepsi as you can. If you don't, you will let Frank F.U.S.B.I down. Do you want that? Do you want to let your hero down after he just sang his heart out for you? Buy more Diet Pepsi. Clear the shelf. F.U.S.B.I demands it from you.
And to finish it all off, we close with the female lead either dying and ascending to the heavens, or being abducted by aliens to be taken to Space Applebee's for a lovely galactic 2 for $20. The lead singer takes a standing nap, being drained from the performance of a lifetime. Now, this video may be only around 4 minutes long, but it feels like a soul-searching journey the whole time. It leaves the audience wanting more, craving another voice-cracking high note, begging for more funky synth keyboard work, but alas, there is very little to be found. As far as other works, F.U.S.B.I just seems to be non-existent. It's baffling. No albums, no follow-up music videos. Come On Back appears to be the only official entry by the group. The only other ones I could find were on a fan-made SoundCloud account with 2 other songs on it. One of these beauties is called Passion in the Canyon, which has the year 1989 plastered on it, I assume as its supposed release date. It's a sexually charged rock song about meeting a married woman and having, well, passion in a canyon. F.U.S.B.I likes to keep the allegories at a bare minimum.
We had passion. We had passion. We had passion. We had passion in the canyon.
It's a really pitchy song that pairs the back and lead vocals like ice cream and balsamic vinegar. Also, for some reason, the instruments have been really muffled, so it feels almost like a recording of Karaoke Night with F.U.S.B.I. This is also the only one of the 3 songs that sounds like it might actually have a drummer, albeit with a very generic drum beat. The other song, Don't Make Me Laugh, is listed as a demo. This one is more of an attempt of a blues rock with standard bluesy guitar. Frank does a heavily southern accented voice through the whole song, so it makes understanding the lyrics outside the chorus nearly impossible. I've gathered this might be a song about someone trying to pick a fight with him, or he is grumpy and refuses to be cheered up by his friends. Your guess is as good as mine. We also have the return of that familiar test-setting drum beat in the background. Other than these 3 songs and the music video, there is no other trace of F.U.S.B.I anywhere on the internet. It's as if they just popped out of the ground, gave us a gift, and leapt back into the darkness to never be heard from again. No one knows the names of the band members. We have no idea where they're from. The best guess I have is the SoundCloud listing Windy City underneath the band name, so it's possible they're from Chicago. Lastly, and most unfortunately of all, no real context has been given to this gem. No one has taken claim of it. No bandmates or crew members have talked about it. We don't even know what F.U.S.B.I means. At first hearing it, you might mistake it for a bootleg Vietnamese version of a Furby, but it's an acronym. Of what? We don't know. My best guess is Federation of United States Bandana Influencers. And I know I'm right on this, but overall, we know nothing about F.U.S.B.I behind the scenes. This has led to some theories by spectators. Some claim this is all a very well-crafted joke using poor production design and oddities within the music video, like the previously shown finger docking scene, as proof this couldn't be genuine. However, the lack of any sort of ownership to this joke and the fact that there are a few more songs leads me to be skeptical of this theory. Maybe it is a very grassroots attempt at a Pepsi ad?
Have you bought yours yet? Frank knows if you haven't. Don't make Papa Frank come knock your door down and show you what it really means to be blown away.
Personally, I believe this is just an amateur group of musicians who failed at trying to break out due to, well, lack of ability in every sense of the word. And that culminated in a final formation of the band in one last hurrah. You can at least give them credit for trying to make this dream a reality. It also may just be me wanting this to be the truth. It makes it more endearing to me if this is a genuine failed attempt on a glorious scale. That being said, I admire that they made this video. Chasing after your dreams, even if you might not have the skills to do so, takes a lot of balls, and it certainly isn't something most people would attempt. However, I want to know more, and I imagine you do too. I encourage any internet sleuths to look deeper into F.U.S.B.I, see if there's any trace of them to finally unravel this wonderful mystery. I certainly would love to know the context behind this glorious video, or at the very least gain any more information I can. And by the off chance anyone involved with F.U.S.B.I is listening, I beg of you, please give us your story. I will truly have my life completed by this information. All that being said, there is no music video in my mind that can leave you feeling both terribly confused and wonderfully enchanted through the entirety of the video, as much as F.U.S.B.I's come on back. I have watched this video personally dozens of times, and it never loses its charm or appeal. I implore you to go watch this video for yourself, as it shockingly only has a couple 100,000 views between each of its uploads. And I can make one guarantee to you, my dear listener. It will, in fact, blow you away.